Welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about the sign of Pisces, the most intuitive and sensitive of the zodiac. Pisceans possess a vast and deep emotional ocean, which makes them incredibly empathetic and connected to the world around them. This same sensitivity, which is one of their greatest gifts, also makes them more susceptible to certain fears that can influence their lives in significant ways. In this video, we will explore how these intrinsic fears shape the Piscean experience, guiding your choices and reactions. To connect with this Piscean energy and begin our exploration, I invite you to repeat with me the following mantra. I welcome my sensitivity and transform my fears into strength. Let this mantra resonate in your heart, and if you feel comfortable, share it in the comments. Let's create a chain of positivity and mutual support. Our goal here is to reveal the 5 biggest fears that Pisces may face. By understanding these fears, we can gain valuable insights and tools to address them in a constructive and transformative way. We want to help you, Pisces or not, better understand yourself and those you love. If you are interested in astrology, self-knowledge, and emotional well-being, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to be notified of our next videos. And if you like this content, leave your like. It is a very important way to support our work and show that this type of topic is relevant to you. Get ready, because we are now going to start a fascinating journey through the corners of the Piscean heart. We will unravel together the mysteries that lie in your deepest fears. For Pisces, whose essence lies in empathy and connection with others, the fear of rejection manifests itself as one of the most intense fears. This apprehension arises from the deep need for Piscean to establish meaningful emotional bonds and the relentless search for acceptance and validation. The inherent sensitivity of Pisces, coupled with a strong desire to please and be liked, contributes significantly to the development of this fear. Pisces often put the needs of others above their own, seeking external approval to feel valued. This dynamic can generate a marked vulnerability to rejection, as your self-esteem can become dependent on the opinion of others. The fear of rejection can express itself in different ways in Pisces' life. In love relationships, it can generate insecurity and excessive jealousy. In friendships, it can lead to difficulty expressing divergent opinions, fearing displeasing. In the workplace, it can result in hesitation to come up with innovative ideas or seek promotions for fear of criticism or disapproval. Overcoming the fear of rejection requires internal work to strengthen self-esteem. It is essential for Pisces to learn to recognize their own worth regardless of external acceptance. Setting healthy boundaries in relationships, saying no when necessary, and prioritizing self-care are key steps. Seeking emotional support from friends, family, or therapy can also be very beneficial for processing insecurities and building self-confidence. Instead of fearing rejection, how about focusing on nurturing self-love? After all, the first and most important relationship we have is with ourselves. The fear of loneliness in Pisces presents an interesting paradox. Although they value moments of introspection and need time alone to recharge their batteries, the idea of prolonged isolation can be daunting for this relational sign. The root of this fear lies in the deep need for authentic and meaningful human connections. Pisces crave deep relationships where they can share their emotions and be truly understood. The difficulty in finding people who genuinely understand your sensitivity and emotional complexity can intensify the fear of loneliness. The fear of loneliness can lead Pisces down challenging paths. In some cases, it can result in attachment to unfulfilling or even toxic relationships, just to avoid being alone. In others, it can generate complete isolation as a form of self-preservation against the pain of disconnection. Pisces may feel caught between the need for company and the fear of being disappointed in their interactions. To cope with the fear of loneliness, Pisces can benefit from cultivating hobbies and personal interests that provide pleasure and individual satisfaction. Seeking out communities with similar values and affinities, whether online or in person, can open doors to meaningful new connections. Learning to appreciate one's own company, transforming moments of solitude into opportunities for self-knowledge and creativity, is a valuable step. Can loneliness, instead of being seen as a ghost, become a portal to inner discovery? For Pisces, with their extremely empathetic and compassionate nature, the fear of the raw reality of the world can be overwhelming. Piscean sensitivity makes them emotional sponges, absorbing the pain and suffering that exist around them. Exacerbated empathy and the tendency to idealize people and situations contribute to this fear. Pisces often create an idealized internal world, seeking refuge from the harshness of reality. Confronting the injustice, violence, and pain of the world can be extremely painful and generate a desire to escape. Fear of reality can manifest itself in different ways. Pisces may seek refuge in fantasies, escapism through movies, books, or games, or even self-destructive behaviors as a way to numb pain. Avoiding negative news, discussions about social problems, or conflict situations can also be a way to deal with this fear. Facing the fear of reality in a healthy way involves finding a balance between sensitivity and the ability to deal with the real world. Practicing mindfulness can help Pisces stay present and connected with the moment, without getting carried away by anguish. Seeking activities that bring joy, hope, and inspiration, such as art, music, or contact with nature, is essential. Finding ways to contribute positively to the world, even on a small scale, can turn feelings of powerlessness into constructive action. What if fantasy and reality were not opposing forces, but rather complementary, dancing together in a ballet of life? The striking characteristic of Pisces is their ability to feel intensely. This emotional openness, while beautiful, also makes them particularly susceptible to the fear of experiencing hurt. The fear of being emotionally hurt emerges as a shadow that accompanies the light of your sensitivity. It is an understandable fear, born of compassionate nature and the tendency to connect with the pains of the world. Past experiences of disappointment and disappointment in love can leave deep scars, intensifying this fear. The Piscean difficulty in setting firm boundaries in their relationships also contributes to this vulnerability. Because they are naturally inclined to give of themselves and trust others, they may find themselves in situations where their generosity is exploited or misunderstood, resulting in emotional injury. The fear of getting emotionally hurt can manifest itself in different ways. Some Pisces may avoid intimate relationships altogether, building walls around their hearts to protect themselves. Others may repress their own emotions, trying to make themselves less vulnerable, which, paradoxically, can lead to even greater suffering. There are also those who become overly protective, controlling every step in their relationships for fear of being hurt again. Dealing with this fear requires, first of all, self-care. It is crucial for Pisces to learn to prioritize their emotional well-being, dedicating time to activities that nourish their soul and strengthen their inner selves. Learning to trust your intuition, which is naturally sharp, can help you identify healthy relationships and move away from potentially painful situations. Seeking therapy can be a valuable avenue for processing past trauma and developing more adaptive defense mechanisms. But what if this vulnerability they fear so much was, in fact, a trump card in disguise, a doorway to true inner strength? The search for success, so present in the human journey, takes on particular contours for Pisces, often obscured by the fear of failure. This fear acts as an invisible obstacle, preventing many Pisceans from achieving their deepest dreams and aspirations. It is an internal barrier that needs to be recognized and overcome. Perfectionism, often present in Pisces, is one of the main fuels of this fear. Severe self-criticism and lack of confidence in one's own capabilities also contribute significantly. Pisces may have very high standards for themselves, which leads them to fear that they will not live up to their own expectations and the expectations of others. This internal pressure can generate anxiety and insecurity. Fear of failure can manifest itself in a variety of ways, often in subtle and limiting ways. Procrastination becomes a common trap, postponing important tasks and projects for fear of not being successful. Avoiding challenges, even those that could bring growth and fulfillment, is another manifestation. In more serious cases, it can lead to the abandonment of projects even before they are completed, sabotaging one's own potential. To master the fear of failure, Pisces needs to learn to set goals that are achievable and realistic, breaking down big goals into smaller, more manageable steps. Celebrating every small victory along the way is key to building confidence and motivation. It's important to internalize that mistakes are valuable opportunities for learning and growth, not grounds for self-deprecation. Seeking support from people who believe in their potential and offer genuine encouragement makes all the difference. What if failure, instead of being the end point, was just a detour on the way, a new angle to observe the landscape of life? The fears that Pisces experiences are not isolated entities, but rather interconnected parts of a complex emotional system. There is an intrinsic relationship between them, where one fear can intensify or even trigger another, creating a real domino effect in your emotional experience. Notice how the fear of rejection can fuel the fear of loneliness. By fearing not being accepted, Pisceans can isolate themselves to avoid the pain of rejection, thus falling into the loneliness they fear so much. Similarly, the fear of raw reality can exacerbate the fear of being emotionally hurt. Awareness of pain in the world can increase the apprehension of suffering personally. Understanding this web of interconnections is crucial. By addressing a specific fear, Pisces may, without realizing it, be positively impacting other aspects of their emotional life. Dealing with the fear of rejection, for example, can strengthen self-esteem and consequently reduce vulnerability to the fear of being hurt. In the face of this complex web of fears, how can we create strategies that address the totality of the Piscean experience? How can we promote integral healing? To begin the journey of overcoming fears, the first crucial step is to turn inward. Self-knowledge and self-acceptance are the foundations on which we can build a solid foundation to face any fear. It is in the depths of our soul that we find the answers and the necessary strength for transformation. There are several tools that can help in this process of inner discovery. Journaling, exploring your thoughts and feelings, can bring clarity and insight. Meditation, in turn, allows us to quiet the mind and connect with the intuitive wisdom that resides in each of us. Considering therapy as a safe space to explore deeper issues is also a valuable path. To strengthen self-esteem and cultivate self-acceptance, positive affirmations are powerful allies. Repeat to yourself phrases such as, "I accept myself completely as I am. I recognize my inherent worth. I am kind and compassionate to myself." Allow these words to nourish your soul and reinforce belief in your own potential. But on this journey of self-discovery, we don't have to walk alone. The search for emotional support can be a beacon, guiding us towards overcoming. No one is an island, and seeking emotional support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Having a network of people who understand and support us is key to navigating life's challenges, especially when confronting our deepest fears. Sharing our insecurities and fears with others can ease the burden and bring new perspectives. Support can come from a variety of sources. Friends and family who demonstrate empathy and understanding can be important pillars. Therapists and counselors provide a professional and safe space to explore complex emotional issues. Support groups, whether in person or online, bring together people who share similar experiences, providing a sense of community and belonging. The key to receiving effective support is open and honest communication. Expressing your feelings and needs clearly and kindly allows the people around you to understand how they can help you. Don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it, and to share your vulnerabilities with those you trust. In addition to external support, there are internal tools that we can use to calm the mind and heart. Let's now explore some relaxation and stress management techniques. When fears manifest, often accompanied by anxiety and stress, it is essential to have effective techniques available to calm the mind and body. Relaxation and stress management techniques are valuable tools for restoring inner balance and strengthening emotional resilience. Deep breathing is a simple and powerful technique that is accessible at any time and place. Meditation, whether guided or silent, helps to focus on the present and reduce the incessant flow of thoughts. Practices such as yoga and mindfulness promote the connection between body and mind, helping to release tensions and cultivate serenity. It is important to experiment with different techniques and find out which ones best suit your individual needs and preferences. What works for one person may not work for another. The essential thing is to find practices that help you achieve a state of inner peace and deal with everyday challenges in a healthier way. With self-knowledge, support, and tools to calm the mind, we are getting closer to the crucial point: how to transform the vulnerability, so characteristic of Pisces, into a source of true strength. It is common to see vulnerability as synonymous with fragility, a weak point to be hidden. For Pisces, however, this very present characteristic can be, paradoxically, a powerful source of energy and resistance. In this chapter, we will demystify this idea and explore how the Piscean sensibility can be transmuted into authentic strength. Pisces' innate ability to deeply feel the emotions of others, empathy, is an unparalleled human connection tool. Rather than being just an emotional burden, This sensitivity allows Pisceans to understand the needs of others on a deep level, making them loyal friends, caring partners, and wise counselors. This same empathy, directed at themselves, fosters self-compassion, which is essential for healing and personal growth. The imaginative and intuitive mind of Pisces is a fertile ground for creativity to flourish. Art, music, writing, and other forms of expression become channels for processing complex emotions and sharing the richness of the inner world. This creative expression not only provides relief and healing, but also inspires and uplifts those who come into contact with it. Many famous personalities of the sign of Pisces illustrate this transformation of vulnerability into success. Renowned artists, spiritual leaders, and humanitarian figures often share this sensibility and use it as an engine for their achievements. Their stories demonstrate that delicacy and strength are not mutually exclusive, but rather sides of the same coin. Instead of seeing vulnerability as an obstacle, how about embracing it as a springboard for a journey of overcoming? To illustrate the potential of Pisces to turn their fears into a driving force, let's get to know some inspiring stories. These are reports of real people of the sign of Pisces who, like you, faced deep fears, but found ways to overcome them and achieve their goals. Imagine the story of Anna, a Pisces who has always been terrified of public speaking. The fear of judgment and rejection paralyzed her. However, driven by her passion for the defense of animals, Anna decided to face her fear. She prepared intensely, sought support, and over time became an inspirational speaker, using her voice to stand up for what she believed in. Or think of Peter, who struggled with the fear of loneliness after a difficult time. He has dabbled in creative hobbies, connected with online communities of common interests, and rediscovered the pleasure of his own company, transforming solitude into creative solitude. The stories of Hannah and Peter, as well as so many others, teach us valuable lessons. They show that it is possible to confront Pisces' fears, that resilience and persistence are keys to overcoming, and that vulnerability can indeed be a catalyst for personal growth. May these narratives of courage and triumph serve as a beacon, illuminating the way to a more confident and fulfilling future. Throughout this journey, we explore the 5 biggest fears that can haunt the Pisces zodiac sign: rejection, loneliness, raw reality, emotional wounding, and failure. We unravel the causes behind these fears, their various manifestations, and most importantly, the strategies to address them constructively. We have seen that strengthening self-esteem, seeking support, practicing self-care, and transforming vulnerability into strength are essential steps. It is essential to internalize that fears do not have to define the trajectory of Pisces. Sensitivity, intuition, and empathy, such striking qualities of this sign, are also powerful tools for overcoming. Fears can be transformed into catalysts for growth, driving Pisces to seek their inner strength and live a more authentic and fulfilling life. Embrace your sensitivity, trust your intuition, and follow your dreams with courage and determination. Remember the mantra we shared in the beginning: I embrace my sensitivity and turn my fears into strength. Allow this affirmation to resonate in your heart and guide you toward emotional freedom. If this video has inspired you or helped you in any way, please share it with friends and family who may also benefit from this content. Let's create a chain of support and understanding together. Thank you immensely for your company and participation in this video. Your support is very important to us. Stay tuned for the channel's upcoming videos, where we will continue to explore the universe of astrology and self-knowledge. I bid you farewell with this inspiring song, wishing you a journey filled with peace and self-discovery. Chapter 10. Turning Vulnerability into Strength. 350 words. Strength in delicacy. Turning vulnerability into power. It is common to consider vulnerability as synonymous with fragility, a weak point to be disguised. However, for Pisces, this characteristic that is so present can prove to be a source of energy and surprising resistance. In this segment, we will demystify this idea, showing how Piscean sensitivity can be converted into genuine robustness. Pisces' natural ability to feel the emotions of others in depth, empathy, is a unique human connection tool. Far from being a mere emotional burden, this sensitivity empowers Pisceans to understand the needs of others on a deep level, making them loyal friends, caring partners, and insightful counselors. This same empathy, directed at themselves, promotes self-compassion, which is fundamental for healing and personal development. The imaginative and intuitive mind of Pisces provides a fertile environment for creativity to flourish. Art, music, writing, and other forms of expression become channels for processing complex emotions and sharing the richness of the inner universe. This creative manifestation not only provides relief and healing, but also inspires and uplifts those who enjoy it. Numerous renowned personalities of the sign of Pisces illustrate this conversion of vulnerability into success. Established artists, spiritual leaders, and humanitarian figures often share this sensibility and use it as a propeller for their achievements. Their stories demonstrate that delicacy and strength are not opposites, but facets of the same reality. Instead of seeing vulnerability as an obstacle, how about welcoming it as a springboard for a trajectory of overcoming?